New Jersey has some of the most ridiculously exclusive, absurdly expensive, and obnoxiously prestigious country clubs in the entire country. We're talking six-figure initiation fees just to walk through the front door, membership wait lists longer than the line at the DMV, and courses that have hosted more major championships than some states have golf courses. By the end of this, your bank account is going to feel personally disrespected. Let's start at the bottom of the list, which is still absolutely insane. TPC Jasna Polana sits on 230 acres of Princeton countryside, and the initiation fee starts around $65,000 for individuals and can hit $75,000 or more for corporate memberships. Plus, you're looking at roughly $10,000 in annual dues after that. But here's the thing, you're paying to hang out in a pharmaceutical dynasty's old living room. This whole place used to be the private estate of J. Seward Johnson, as in Johnson & Johnson, as in Band-Aids, baby powder, and a net worth that could buy your entire neighborhood and turn it into a putting green. The mansion, which is now the clubhouse, cost $30 million to build back in the 1970s. That's like $150 million today. The architect was Wallace K. Harrison, the same guy who designed the United Nations headquarters and the Metropolitan Opera House. When Johnson died in 1983, he left his entire $500 million fortune to his third wife, a Polish immigrant who started out as his cook and chambermaid. He cut the kids out completely, and a massive legal battle followed. Over 200 lawyers, 3 years, and she walked away with $350 million and the entire estate. Gary Player designed the course, which opened in 1998. It's not the longest or the most brutal, but it's pristine. Rolling hills, mature hardwoods, fairways so clean they look like they were combed by hand every morning. You're playing golf in Princeton horse country, surrounded by more quiet wealth per acre than most towns see in a decade. Now here's where we flip the whole conversation, because Pine Valley Golf Club doesn't really care how much money you have. You could show up with a dump truck full of $100 bills, and they'd still tell you to get in line and wait for an invitation that might never come. Pine Valley is widely considered the #1 golf course in America. Golf Digest, Golf Magazine, every major publication, they all say the same thing. This is the course, perhaps the most revered 18 holes on the planet. And it's tucked away in South Jersey, surrounded by pines, barely visible from any public road. Estimates put the initiation fee somewhere around $100,000, depending on who's talking. But you can't just apply. The board of directors has to invite you. If you don't know someone who's already in, you're not getting in. The club has about 930 members, and the wait list reportedly has over 4,000 names. That's a line longer than some small towns. And here's where it gets weird. For almost a century, Pine Valley wasn't just a country club. It was its own town. The borough of Pine Valley was one of the smallest municipalities in New Jersey, population 21. The only way in was through a single road from neighboring Pine Hill. Every road inside was privately owned by the club, and every house was members only. You literally had to be a golfer to live there. And until 2021, women weren't allowed to be members. They could play on Sunday afternoons. That's it. Then the state attorney general's office came knocking, and suddenly Pine Valley had its hands tied. They've since paid $200,000 to settle discrimination claims and establish scholarships for women golfers. In 2022, the borough of Pine Valley officially merged into Pine Hill, ending one of the strangest municipal arrangements in American golf history. The course is still untouchable. George Arthur Crump designed it back in 1913, and he became so obsessed with the project he sold his hotel in Philadelphia and poured everything he had into it. He died before it was finished, and they completed the final holes in 1922. Not much has changed since. Pine Valley doesn't need your money. It doesn't need your fame. What it needs is for you to know someone who knows someone, and even then, you'd better be good. Somerset Hills Country Club is so exclusive, they won't even tell you what it costs to join unless a current member personally introduces you. I tried finding official numbers. The club's response was basically, if you have to ask, you can't afford it. But rumor has it the initiation fee sits around $100,000. Annual dues reportedly push $20,000. Somerset Hills was founded in 1899 by New York City businessmen who wanted a country escape. It started out small with 9 holes, 65 members, and a $50 initiation fee. Adjusted for inflation, that's about $1,800. Now it's north of 6 figures. That's one hell of a price hike. The course was designed by A.W. Tillinghast, one of the greatest golf architects in history. It opened at its current location in 1918 and has remained virtually unchanged since, making it one of the most authentic Tillinghast layouts still standing. Golf Digest consistently ranks it among the top 100 in the country. The vibe at Somerset Hills is old money and quiet confidence. Notable members over the years have included Treasury Secretaries, Secretaries of State, and multiple New Jersey governors. If you're wondering what the inside of old school power looks like, this is it. Somerset Hills doesn't advertise. It's been here for 125 years, and it's not going anywhere. The Ridgewood Country Club is one of those places where money alone isn't enough. You also need patience. The waitlist reportedly has over 150 families on it. Initiation fees are estimated between $125,000 and $150,000, with annual dues somewhere around $25,000 or more. Ridgewood was founded in 1890, which made it the first golf club in New Jersey. The course, designed by A.W. Tillinghast in 1929, features 27 holes split into 3 nines. It hosted the 1935 Ryder Cup, the 2022 U.S. Amateur, and multiple PGA Tour events, including the Barclays. The East and West combination forms the primary 18-hole championship layout, but all 3 circuits remain true to the original 1929 design. Since 2000, the club has worked with architect Gil Hance to restore the course back to its Tillinghast roots, rebuilding bunkers, adding new tees, and installing a modern irrigation system without losing the historic character. Byron Nelson, one of the greatest golfers to ever live, actually worked as an assistant professional here early in his career. The clubhouse was designed by Clifford Wendahack and is now listed on the National Register of Historic Places. Ridgewood is big money Bergen County in its purest form, polished, prestigious, and completely unfazed by your urgency. Get on the list, then wait. Baltusrol Golf Club in Springfield has hosted more major championships than most clubs could dream of. 7 U.S. Opens, 2 PGA Championships, 2 U.S. Women's Opens. This is a course that has witnessed golf history repeat itself over and over again, and the initiation fee is around $150,000, plus roughly $18,500 in annual dues. Membership is invite only, and you apparently need to know at least 8 current members for 3 years before they'll even consider you. The club was named after Baltusrol, a farmer who was murdered by 2 thieves on the property back in 1831. They thought he had treasure hidden in his farmhouse. He didn't, but his name stuck. Welcome to Baltusrol. The original course was replaced by A.W. Tillinghast, who designed both the upper and lower courses in 1918. The lower course is the showpiece, stretching over 7,400 yards and playing host to most of the club's biggest events. In 2014, the entire property was designated a National Historic Landmark. The clubhouse burned down in 1909 and was rebuilt in Tudor Revival style. Golf Magazine once called it the second best clubhouse in the world. President William Howard Taft visited in 1912, making Baltusrol the first clubhouse to ever host a sitting president. Baltusrol is pure prestige. It's the kind of place where history doesn't just hang on the walls. It's baked into every fairway. Hamilton Farm Golf Club in Gladstone is the New Jersey country club that feels like a European estate accidentally landed in Somerset County. Initiation fees for local members run around $150,000. Regional members pay around $75,000. National members who have to live out of state can get in for $25,000. Annual dues range from about $4,700 to $18,500 depending on your tier. Hamilton Farm was originally built in 1911 by Wall Street financier James Cox Brady, who named it after his wife. Over time, he expanded it to over 5,000 acres. He built a 54-stall equestrian stable that was, at the time, described as the largest and most lavish in the country. Today, that stable is the headquarters of the United States equestrian team. Olympic riders train here. It's like the Downton Abbey of golf, except it's in New Jersey, and the waitstaff probably won't judge your wine selection out loud. The golf course was designed by Herdson and Fry in 2001. There's also an 18-hole par 3 layout called the Hickory, the only USGA-rated par 3 course in the country. The clubhouse has 10 guest suites, 11 fireplaces, a wine cellar, a chapel, and a helipad. Hamilton Farm is for people who want their golf experience to feel like stepping into a different era, tailored, refined, and entirely disconnected from whatever's happening on Route 78. Now we jump into the big leagues. Trump National Bedminster sits on 520 acres in Somerset County, about 40 miles west of Manhattan. Initiation fees are reportedly around $350,000. Annual dues hover somewhere between $14,000 and $25,000. Membership includes access to all 19 Trump golf properties, which is either a perk or a warning depending on your politics. Trump bought the property in 2002 for less than $35 million. It used to be the estate of John DeLorean, yes, the car guy. The 36-hole club was designed by Tom Fazio and his son. The old course opened in 2004, followed by the new course 4 years later. Golf Digest ranked it among the top 100 in the country. In 2017, it hosted the U.S. Women's Open. In 2022 and 2023, it hosted LEV golf events. Trump famously uses the property as his summer White House when Mar-a-Lago closes for the season. Security protocols shut down nearby airports and impose flight restrictions within a 30-mile radius whenever he's in town. Here's the wildest part. Trump received approval in 2015 to build a private family cemetery on the grounds, complete with a classical mausoleum. In 2022, his first wife, Ivana Trump, was buried there. She's the first and so far only person interred at the site. Trump has said publicly that he wants to be buried at Bedminster too. Yes, you could one day be chipping over a Trump family grave. That's the Bedminster experience. Finally, we arrive at the most expensive country club in the state, and one of the most expensive in the entire country. Liberty National Golf Club in Jersey City has an initiation fee reportedly between $450,000 and $500,000. Annual dues run around $25,000 to $30,000. The club cost over $250 million to build. That's not a typo. $250 million for a golf course. Liberty National was built on a former industrial wasteland, oil tanks, contaminated soil, old warehouses. They hauled in 6 million cubic feet of clean soil over 2 years, 200 truckloads a day. They raised the elevation by 50 feet in some spots just to improve the view. And what a view. From every hole, you can see the Statue of Liberty, Ellis Island, and the Manhattan skyline. The course sits directly across the Hudson River from Lower Manhattan. The 18th hole is basically a postcard come to life. Membership includes access to a private ferry from Manhattan, a helipad, a marina, and a glass-walled clubhouse designed to look like something out of a Bond film. Celebrity members reportedly include Phil Mickelson, Justin Timberlake, Mark Wahlberg, Eli Manning, and Rudy Giuliani. The course has hosted the Northern Trust multiple times, plus the 2017 President's Cup and LPGA's Mizuho America's Open. Rose Zhang won her professional debut here in 2023. Liberty National is the kind of place that doesn't just ask for money. It asks for $500,000 and then offers you a speedboat ride to the first tee. It's absurd. It's excessive. And honestly, it's kind of perfect. And so there you go. The most exclusive country clubs in New Jersey, ranked by the sheer audacity of what they charge to let you in. If you're sitting there wondering whether you could ever afford any of this, don't worry. Most people can't. That's literally the whole point. But hey, now you know what's behind those gates.